CGI has been around for a long time by this point, 30 years. Within the last couple of years, the last 2 to 3 years, it's become obvious that there are problems with CGI nowadays. 2023 made that very clear because The Flash, Disney's Little Mermaid, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny all had budgets over $200 million, and yet the visuals were not good enough considering the budget. In particular, with Flash and Little Mermaid, the visual effects in those movies are inexcusably bad considering the budget. In particular, Flash became infamous for the fact that the visuals are terrible. And I've recently just been thinking more about this. It's like, wow, Dune Part 1, which costs only $165 million, has visuals that absolutely outshine The Flash, Little Mermaid, Indiana Jones, and the Dial of Destiny. Dune looks visually incredible for only $165 million. Visual effects in those three movies pale in comparison to Dune. And actually, recently I rewatched Aliens, Terminator 2, and Jurassic Park. I thought after watching those movies, these hold up better than recent big budget blockbusters, ones that have come out within the last 2 to 3 years. In fact, when I rewatched the first Transformers movie from 2007 that came out over 10 years ago, I thought the visuals in this movie hold up better than recent big budget blockbusters. And also, Wonka costs only $100 million. Godzilla Minus One, only $15 million. And it looked great. That was a very successful Japanese kaiju film that had a very small budget. And so it's like, what is going on here? How is it that these movies that have much lower budgets look much better, have much better CGI than movies that have much bigger budgets? I think there are a couple reasons why there are problems with CGI. One, nowadays, on top of the blockbusters that go to movie theaters, you have streaming television shows that get a lot of money poured into them. Think about Game of Thrones, Amazon's Reigns of Power. You have nowadays premium streaming television shows that get a lot of money poured into them. On top of that, nowadays filmmakers are not recognizing the value of using practical effects, of using a mixture of practical and CGI. When James Cameron did Terminator 2, when Steven Spielberg did Jaws or Jurassic Park, they were nervous about the CGI. Will people actually accept this? And therefore, they made sure that those movies look convincing. Nowadays, you have filmmakers that have just been raised on extensive CGI and green screen, and therefore they're not being careful because they assume that, well, people are just going to buy into it no matter what because CGI has been around for so long, so many movies use it, so we don't need to try as hard as possible. Recently, some of the Marvel movies have had very questionable CGI where you go, this should look better. These are big budget movies put out by a studio with all the resources as Disney. And yet, these movies don't look as good as they should. In fact, with Disney specifically, one of the big problems is that they're reworking everything, trying to fix it in post. You know, the MCU Parliament. I think that's one of the reasons why recent Marvel movies have very questionable CGI. And so I think it's pretty interesting